Hey, hello. What's going on? This is my review for last night's NXT Takeover The End on June 8th, 2016. But today's June 9th, 2016. So yeah. Anyway, I don't got like notes because I was actually sober. I was actually sober watching wrestling. So how about that? Can't say that I'll be sober today, but I was sober last night watching wrestling. So I don't really have notes. I just basically have the card laid out for me, so I can tell you guys how it kind of went in order. Anyway, then we had the premiere of Andrade Cien Almas, and he was going up against the Perfect 10 Ty Dillinger, and they've been having those little video packages for Almas coming lately. With him taking his mask off, his luchador mask, and it's like everything's a new fucking era nowadays. It's always a damn new era, but he's moving on, and he wanted to do something better. And anyway, so Ty Dillinger comes out first, gets the 10 chance going. He's the perfect 10, all that fun stuff. And then so Almas comes out, and I wasn't sure what I was gonna really be. I wasn't sure what I was really expecting to see when he came out, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't hate it. He came out, and he looked like the Godfather, kinda. He came out, had a top hat on with a feather in it, and then he had white pants with white suspenders and the white top hat with the white feather, and came out to the ring, and people were cheering, and I don't know if it was the hugest pop in the world, but people were excited to see what he had to offer. And then he gets in the ring and takes off his top hat and takes off his white pants and his white suspenders and has on blue tights and stuff. So anyway, yeah, those guys put on a hell of a match. I don't know a whole lot about Andrade Cien Almas, but yeah, man, he's impressive. Some of the shit that he can do. I'm always impressed by the luchadors, but yeah, he was doing some pretty flashy stuff. He went for a moonsault at one point off the second rope, and Ty Dillinger had rolled out of the way, so Cien landed on his feet and then immediately went back into another standing moonsault and landed it just like without missing a beat. And a lot of cool, fun stuff there. But yeah, there was a lot of good battling, but in the end, Andrade Cien Almas wound up defeating Ty Dillinger, and yeah, that was how that went. And then we had the revival of with Dash and Dawson versus American Alpha with Jordan and Gable, and I'm not the hugest fan of the revival. I mean, I guess just because I don't always hate bad guys like in wrestling, heels and stuff, but I guess they're doing their job for me is because I just don't really like them that much. They just seem to bug me more than they entertain me. But I really like American Alpha, and so going into this, I was like, yeah, fucking American Alpha, yeah, woo, America, and all that fun stuff. But this was a hell of a match. These guys went out there and just pinfall attempt after pinfall attempt, big move, knock out this guy and go hit his opponent or his partner off the thing and go for a pin. Knock this guy down and go hit his partner off the ring and go for a pin. I mean, it was just everybody was kicking everybody's ass. Lots of really high power moves. I mean, especially from American Alpha. Those guys are, I don't know, when I look at them, I mean, I'm sure other people do too. I look at them, it's like I'm seeing Kurt Angle in the world's greatest tag team and shit. I mean, those guys are like in that caliber. Those two are really talented. But anyway, yeah, it was all lots of really high flying action, or not high flying action, hard hitting action. Damn it! But yeah, anyway, they all went out there. They all put on a hell of a show. All four men. I got to really. I do have a newfound respect for Dash and Dawson now. They're still not my favorite tag team, but anyway, Dash and Dawson defeated American Alpha and took the NXT tag titles when it was all said and done. And oh yeah. And then before I forget, you know, fucking Jordan and Gable were in the ring, you know, kind of mourning their loss, and you know, kind of hugging it out, like, oh, it'll be better next time. And then these two big fucking corn-fed, burly-ass bastards come and just jump them from behind and just completely destroy each one of them. I mean, they're throwing Jordan Gable, they're throwing Jason Jordan around like he's a fucking rag doll, and he's a big dude. But these guys are just throwing these guys around, slamming them down, beating them up, and then damn it, I can't remember the damn fucking manager's name, but this Hall of Fame manager guy that I'm having a brain fart on right now. Kind of looks like a skinny Goldberg. But he comes out, silently watches his team beat up American Alpha. Then he basically lets them know it's time to go, and they split, and American Alpha is just left in the ring all beat to shit. So we'll see how that progresses. Then we had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Austin Aries. And, I've seen New Japan Pro Wrestling and various other promotions like Wrestle One and stuff like that. I've seen it sometimes. I just don't have those channels to see it. And I'm not always in the mood to go online and fucking find some shit like that and watch it, illegally or whatever. I try to stay away from things that are illegal nowadays. But, anyway. Shinsuke Nakamura is my shit. I like that dude. I have seen him before, but now that I've been seeing him more regularly, I'm like reminded why I liked him. He's just so fucking eccentric. I love it. And then, you got good old Austin Aries. Loved him since TNA, since I first was watching him in TNA. But anyway, yeah, they have their match, and, I really didn't even know who to cheer for in this match because I really like both guys. But yeah, I thought it was a good match, but it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. When this match was beginning, I was really thinking this shit was just gonna blow everything out of the fucking water. But it wasn't a fucking stick of dynamite, I guess, but, it was definitely like a firecracker of some kind. I don't know. I'm not good at analogies, but, yeah, anyway, they went out there, they put on a good match. They fought, back and forth. You'd think someone was getting the upper hand, and then someone else getting the upper hand. They're fighting, and, yeah, when it all came down to it, fucking, Shinsuke Nakamura fucking got in three moves right after one another. He did his kick thing in the air and hit fucking Aries. Then he did that fucking whatever fucking suit over the top onto your belly at landing ass suplex thing. I always forget the name of that shit, but I always make sure my video game characters have that move in their fucking arsenal. And then he hits him with the kick again anyway. Yeah, he hit him with that kick, fucking suplexed him, and hit him with the kick again, and Shinsuke Nakamura fucking defeated Austin Aries, and then went about his silly ass way and went to the back. And yeah. And then we had Asuka against Nia Jax, and I love me some Asuka. She's one of those women that's so scary to me that I find her sexually attractive. And I find Nia Jax scary, but I don't I don't think I find her scary enough to find her sexually attractive. But I guess that's really irrelevant in this case here. Anyway, Asuka. Oh, I know. Okay, I started thinking about Bailey and how disappointed I was that fucking Bailey wasn't in this match, and then my mind must have ventured off into the sexual regions. But anyway, yeah, fucking Bailey's hurt because fucking Nia Jax hurt her. And then Nia Jax had gotten herself in the #1 contendership against Asuka. So we're having Asuka versus Nia Jax, and then we're going out there. They're doing their thing, and god damn, for the first half of the match at least, just Nia Jax is just destroying Asuka. And when you see Asuka fight, you don't see her get destroyed or woman handled or anything like that. You don't see her get handled, and put down and in control and all that shit. But Nia Jax was doing it. Every now and then Asuka was coming and attempting something, taking out the legs, trying to choke her out, do something, but Nia Jax just has too much power. And Nia just kept beating her, and Asuka kept trying to come up, and Nia would beat her, and Asuka would come up, and Nia would beat her. And then finally, Asuka started getting in there a little bit, started getting Nia down on her knees by working the legs and fucking I can't tell you how many damn times Asuka put Nia Jax in some kind of like a knee lock or shoulder lock or something, just trying to wear that woman's body down. And it finally started to work. And but up to the end, Asuka never really had like dominating control the length that like Nia Jax had it. Asuka was getting in her hits finally in the end there, but Nia was still getting some in too. And it was a hell of a match. And Asuka managed to get in some really good kicks into Nia Jax's head and got her down to her knees. Kicked her again, and then Nia Jax looks at her and just in defiance just screams. Just fucking screams at her like, fuck you, you're not gonna get this. And Asuka went and bounced off the ropes and just came and just cracked her in the head and fucking defeated her, pinned her. But it was a fucking hell of a match. Asuka had to work her ass off for that victory. I was proud of both women. They both put on a hell of a performance in that match. They really did. And I still don't think they know exactly what they're doing with Nia Jax, like what they have planned for her, but I think they're working it out, and I look forward to seeing what they have in store for her in the future, because she has a lot of potential to just go out there and just be that destructive force that she's designed to be. And so, but yeah, anyway, Asuka pulled it off in the end. And then you had your main event here was Samoa Joe and Finn Balor in a steel cage. And apparently, it's the very first steel cage in NXT. And Finn Balor himself has never ever been in a cage match, is what they're saying. So Finn Balor comes out. He's the demon. He's all painted up for the special occasion. He goes out in the ring, does his thing, works the crowd. The crowd's loving it, and then Samoa Joe comes out. The crowd's not loving it so much, but he's getting a reaction. The match starts, and like Joe knocks Finn Balor down like in the first second or something, and immediately tries to go escape out the cage door, and he doesn't make it. So they just keep fighting in the cage. Joe's throwing Balor into the cage. Balor eventually starts throwing Joe into the cage. They're fighting. They're Balor manages to get Joe down a few times, and then starts trying to ascend the cage. Joe's always there to at the last second, managing to like get a hold of his foot or his leg or something and pull him back down. Um, they just kind of went out there and did their thing. I mean, it's what you would expect from Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe in a cage match. There was just lots of back and forth. They're fighting, hitting and kicking and scratching and climbing and preventing each other from walking out cage doors. And fucking Finn Balor hits a coup de grace off the top rope, of course, and hits Joe and starts trying to climb the cage, and then Joe stops him, and then Finn Balor kicks him in the head and makes Joe go back down. So Finn's just like, fuck it, I'm continuing on what I was doing, and I'm climbing out of this cage. And Joe manages to get up again and grabs hold of Finn Balor's foot and kind of is holding him there, and Balor's hitting him, and Joe's holding on to him, and Joe manages to kind of spin him around a little bit. Balor's, his legs are dangling on the other side of the cage now, and his front half's on the inside of the cage. And and Joe's kind of standing on the middle rope. And Joe manages to get fucking Balor in position for the muscle buster, and he muscle busters Finn Balor off the second rope down, and they hit hard. They hit pretty damn hard with that move. But Joe hit that muscle buster off the second rope and defeated Finn Balor and retained his title. So Samoa Joe defeated Finn Balor again. This time, I guess it was on TV though, so I guess more people got to see it. But I'm okay with that, because I'm okay with it, but I'm not okay with it. But I'm okay with it really, because I like Samoa Joe and I like Finn Balor, but Finn Balor's had that title for quite a while now, and Joe's defeated him twice, and it's time pretty soon. Finn Balor, now that he's used his fucking championship rematch stipulation and lost again, one could say that this feud is over now. Logically, I mean, don't use logic in wrestling, but I mean, one's left to think that it's Samoa Joe is established himself as the champion now, and that Finn Balor is most likely going to be heading up to the main roster now on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or something, especially with SmackDown going live coming up on July 19th, and all that shit. But I think Joe, he's going to be champion, and he's going to start fighting somebody like Nakamura or Austin Aries or both or something, or some Bobby Roode. Fucking Bobby Roode was on NXT last night in a little side segment when they say, "We got breaking news for you. We want to show you what happened backstage with Commissioner Regal." And Bobby Roode showed up and walked into Regal's office, and that's all they showed of that. But Samoa Joe's champion, and he's going to be doing that. And my guess is Finn Balor is going to be going up to the main roster, because that's usually how things like this work. You're a champion for a while, you lose your title, and then you move up to the main roster and fucking hope and pray that it wasn't a demotion to be moved up to the main roster from NXT. You hope it wasn't a demotion and the end of your career. But anyway, yeah, I've rambled on long enough. You'd think I was drunk, but I'm not. I'm actually drinking iced tea. Maybe I have too much caffeine going on. But anyway, I'll leave you all alone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.